Welcome back, everybody. It is November 1st of 2019, and this is episode 11, I believe, of What Is On My Desk. So here we are back, another video, another one of these series. It is actually November 1st, again, as in previous videos. We'll see when I actually get this thing put together and get it uploaded, but at least I'm filming on the 1st, which is a rarity when it comes to me in some of these videos. Unfortunately, there is not a whole lot to go over this time around. I do have a bit of progress on the models. Not a lot to report, but yeah, you'll see some movement on these things. That's pretty much it. I have two little things I'm going to go over that I got, a book and whatnot, and otherwise it's been a pretty slow month, model-wise anyways, and that's because of everything else that's been going on. The past 3 weeks have been the plague going through this house. My daughter was sick, my wife and I were sick, my daughter got sick again, the twins got sick. So you can imagine 7.5-month-old twins who are both teething, who are both stuffed up and coughing. So it's not fun. We spent a few nights sitting on the couch with them and whatnot. So it's been a bit of a tough 3 weeks, so not a lot has got done down here. I am happy to report that I am finally almost finished the last of the build log videos for those 4 German fighters you saw earlier in this series. So hopefully I get those posted in the next little bit. I still have to go through those air show pictures and whatnot that I built up, and we'll try to put together a bit of an air show review video for both the Red Arrows show as well as the fall Gatineau show and the London show. I did not get a lot of video, but hopefully I can put something together that that makes it worthwhile. So I have a bit of projects coming up the next little bit when I have time to do it. So not too much to report, so let's get the camera swung over here and we'll set up and we'll get the rest of this video done. And as always, my name is Sean and this is Sean's Aviation. So here we are back at the desk. We'll go over the progress of the four models I'm working on: the MiG-21, Wildcat, Hurricane, and the Vampire. So start with the MiG-21. I honestly can't remember where I was when I filmed the last video. So here it is right now. This is the current status of the MiG-21. So starting at the front, I'm pretty sure I had this last time, nose cones installed, pre-painted and masked. I've got the, as you can see, the wings are installed. I have the spine and the tail installed. So a lot of these seams in here, let's just zoom in just a hair. A lot of all these, you can see here, the seams in here have all been touched up, especially back here as well. The seam with the spine meets the tail. That's cleaned up. The bottom of the fuselage, I think you saw this last time, quite a bit of filling was needed along in here to get it look nice. And on the bottom of the wings, for whatever reason, there's the gear door, but this section of the door was not included in the kit, probably because the model was designed to have the gear down. So this little tiny door kind of got lost in the production of the aircraft, but I got them filled, so it'll be look nice. I'm not sure if I want to fill these inner corners. They're a bit of a pain to get to, and with the aircraft on a stand, I don't know if you'll ever really notice those are there, but we'll see as time goes on. I'm not too sure how I would actually get that filled without losing a lot of detail. But anyways, the wings are on. This is all cleaned up. Everything's been sort of polished. Just needs a layer of primer to take a look and see what these seams look like. I might need to do a little bit of cleanup down the road to make these things look good. There's a bit of a seam on this inside corner on both wings. I'll probably just use a little bit of white glue to close that up, just so that I don't have to, again, try to get in there and sand. But it's coming along. The cockpit's all ready to go. It's all set up. All I have to do now is install. I gotta put the little piece on the seat I broke off, and then put the canopy in place, and then I can paint the canopy panel lines and get ready for prime and whatnot. So it's coming along. Hopefully by the next video I'll have some primer on this thing and be ready for paint, but time will tell. But there you go, MiG-21. Moving on to the Wildcat. Again, some progress. You'll see the fuselage is glued together, the wings are glued on, I got the tail put in place. the last thing I've been doing here, again, just doing some seam work. There's a lot of raised rivet detail on this aircraft, so it's not easy to clean up the seams. So I've been trying my best to clean up some of the seams without, especially, I mean, if you can see back here, it's not the easiest to get in between these rows of rivets to clean it up and not lose all of the detail. So I've just been poking away at that. As I said, the wings are installed. I got the oil cooler covers on. There's a few other little things that need to go on this, but pretty soon it'll be time to sort of start masking out. Sorry, lost the framing. Pretty soon it'll be time to start cleaning, masking off these wheel well areas, get the cowling installed, get the canopy put on, and then get ready to paint it. The rudder is going to have a striped decal. I plan on building this version here that's got the red and white striped rudder, and it comes as a decal. So I'm going to do that to the rudder first and then glue the rudder on at the end, just so I'm not messing around with the elevators and whatnot. So put that on at the end. But there we go, Wildcat moving right along bit by bit. Hurricane, again, progress, fuselage glued together. I've got the wings installed. This has taken a little bit of effort. Again, the aircraft was never designed to have the wheels retracted, which is what I am going to do on this. So because of that, it does come with an engine, and the cowling was supposed to be open to show off the engine. So as you can see with the amount of putty I've had to put on here, the cowlings don't fit quite well. I still have to clean up this nose joint. You can see how kind of chewed up that is. But yeah, the cowlings weren't really designed to fit on this aircraft closed, so it's taken a bit of work to get them fit. And then the gun bay covers here, the leading edge where the guns are, so that this gave them the option with an insert. This is the 8 gun, but then there'd be another insert that would have the cannons if you went with that model. Excuse me. But you can clearly see that those have not fit as well as they should have. There's quite a bit of seam cleanup that needed to be done. The other thing you may have noticed, the ailerons are not straight. I did that on purpose. When I have the aircraft mounted on the base, I'm going to have it angled this way a little bit and kind of nose down. So I'm going to have it sort of, if you're looking for a straight on, if you were to say, you know, normally you'd see an aircraft mounted straight, it's going to be banked this way and nose down slightly when it's mounted to the base. So the ailerons and all the control surfaces will be in the proper position as if it was in the middle of a descending, turning kind of roll. So that's where I'm going with that. I'm going to have it done up soon. It's going to be the temperate scheme, the US, the British Navy scheme, the two-tone gray over sky. So it's going to be pretty cool when it's all done. I'm excited to see this. I haven't actually built a 1/48 scale Hurricane since I was in high school, so it's nice to have another one on my shelf again. So there you go, Hurricane. Now the one that I've been spending all of my time on for the past little while, most of my time, those last 3 I've been just bit by bit here and there, a couple of minutes, but all of my effort has been going into the Vampire because it is a pig of a kit. Classic airframes has never been known for their ease of build, and this one definitely follows in that thread. You can clearly see all the putty it's taken in here to get the wing roots cleaned up. I'm still working here on the transition between the booms and the wings. Steps galore, none of it was straight, none of it lined up. Again, on the bottom, the amount of putty here in the wing roots, the putty I needed around this belly fairing to make it fit, the nose cone to make it fit. These intakes actually went in okay. There was just massive gaps. There wasn't a lot of blending. It was just these huge gaps around the edges that had to be filled. So it's just, you can see the putty. It's just a ton. Other than the booms, all this other stuff has already been sanded and polished and cleaned up. So it's pretty much ready for primer. And you can just see how much putty it needed to fight this thing into shape. So it's not an easy build at all, but it's coming along. And because this has needed so much work on it, I'm trying to get this, because if I get the other 3 ready for paint and then I have to sit on this thing and just slog it out with putty and sanding, I would have just put this on the shelf and never got to it. So I've been working on this primarily and just doing little bits on those just to keep my interest level up so I don't get bored. So this is what I've been putting on my effort. Once this is all cleaned up and ready to go for paint, I will go back and get the other ones then completed, as the work is not nearly as bad. But there you go, my vampire. Very excited to have this one completed. But it has been a battle from start to finish to get that done. So now just a quick review of what I bought. So these, I mean, it's nothing terribly special. I'm not ever going to pretend that this is anything special. It is just strictly a paintbrush set. Came off of Amazon. I ordered some stuff on Amazon and needed to hit a certain number to get the free shipping. So I threw this paintbrush set in. It goes everything from a 000, I believe, a 000 to, let's see, reorient myself here. So yeah, there's 000, 00, a 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I have all the different sizes. I have a few brushes left over, but a lot of them are starting to feel the pain, so to speak, of being used on a regular basis. So these are just a nice set of good brushes of all the different sizes to do the work that needs to be done without using those crappy brushes I have over there. So nothing special, just a simple set of paintbrushes. But it's another addition to the collection, so I'll show it to you. The big item I would say that I acquired, was a book. Actually, it was a crowdfunding book I got involved in from, I believe it was called 5 Oaks. 5 Oaks Productions out of Texas. They got involved in the 5 Oaks Creative from Lindale, Texas. So this was a program they did when I think I showed you earlier the coin that I got, the D-Day coin. I'm pretty sure I showed you guys this in an earlier video. So this was the 5 Oaks group. This was the same people. So they did a crowdfunding program to build or to create this book. So they sent the people over with the aircraft. They took a bunch of pictures. They came back. They put the book together. They tell the story of not only D-Day but the anniversary of D-Day that took place back in June. And then part of the crowdfunding was to fund the production of the book. But then it also included the prizes, the hat, the coin, a few other little things that I got. So the book did show up. It is an amazing book. I'm very glad that I crowdfunded in part of this. I mean, I can't even explain how awesome this book is. Beautiful pictures, as you can see. Like I said, they talk about this is a program they had in Connecticut before they left to go overseas, where they had a bunch of actual World War II. Not this is in England, but here they talk about this, what they did in Connecticut. They all met in Connecticut and then flew across the Atlantic. So this was sort of the story of them in Connecticut. And they were here when they got to England. You see all the reenactors that were there to take part in the jump. And then there's the pictures of them flying over the cliffs of Dover and getting ready to go over to France to do the jump. And I mean, just the pictures are just beautiful. They really did a good job tying the past to the present. So there's a whole section here on the actual D-Day 1944 mission, but you can see here where they've done things. For example, the original setup, and then the modern people. So you can again tie it together. The reenactors were just amazing. You have here an exact recreation from the 101st Airborne, and then the reenactors recreating the exact moment again. So it's just the amount of effort that went into making this this moment really means something was just amazing. So this, like I said, there's a whole section here on D-Day, the landings, not just the parachute, but the actual, all of the plan, all of the landings, the beaches they landed at, the stories, the Canadians, the British, the Americans, everything, the bombers that would have been involved, the fighters that would have been involved, the story of the invasion stripes. Then they talk about the history of the DC-3. Then we get into the actual aircraft that were part of the mission. So this is a list of all the DC-3/Dakotas that took part in the memorial. the actual D-Day veteran aircraft that took part, and then any other DC-3s or C-47s that were there that did not take part in D-Day. And then each plane has a section that they talk about. So there's That's All Brother, you've got D-Day Doll, right? So they go through and they talk about every aircraft that took part in the flyby, including, you know, a brief history of the aircraft, pictures of it, you know, doing its thing, all part of, you know, here's the actual aircraft dropping the paratroopers over France. I mean, it's a really well done book. It's a real historical timepiece that goes over the amazing effort that went into getting all of these aircraft over to France and taking part in this memorial. So very glad that I did take part in this, that I was part of the project, helped get this funded. As such, I did get the hard copy version of the book, which is only available to those who participated in the crowdfunding. If you do want to purchase this book, I'll include a link in the description. And there's a soft cover version of the book that is available retail to everybody else. And then there's, of course, the thank you page for everybody who participated. And then over here is the amount of people who did the crowdfunding. And obviously there's my, I can't really know if you read it, by name, included in the book as part of the crowdfunding group. And then of course there's the people who took part in the photography and the development of the book. So it's a very cool book. It's a real cool piece of history, and I'm very glad. I think I even mentioned back in June about the D-Day anniversary and what was happening back when that flight actually happened. So to now have the book to go with the story is amazing. So unfortunately, this is the end of the video. As I said, I don't have much this time around. It's been a pretty slow couple of weeks on the desk. I'm hoping, as I said, in the future to have some more content. I've got the build log videos coming up. I've got the air show logs that I want to go through and build up those as well and get those videos completed and posted, excuse me. You'll probably see some more progress on these kits as I'm getting close to the painting stage, and that's always exciting. As well as, I mean, there's a few new kits coming out. I think I mentioned before the P38 Lightning, the Tamiya P38 Lightning kit came out. After, you know, using my brain and not my heart, I've decided to not purchase that one right now. The only reason I wanted the early model P38 Lightning was to do a British Lightning, and I'm holding out hope that Tamiya releases one, in which case I'll buy that. But at this point, I'm not going to go out of my way to spend almost $100 on a kit that I don't really need and that I already have a version of. So that's that. There are two other kits coming out that I am somewhat interested in. The first one is the ICM A26/B26 Invader. Not the Martin Marauder, but the Douglas Invader. So they're coming out with an all-new Tool 148 kit. The only one to date is the old monogram one, and it's very hard to find. So ICM's coming out with the new 201. I believe the B model, the 8-gun nose B model Korean War version has been released. They are also doing a C model glass nose World War II version, as well as the K model Vietnam version. So that is the one that I want to get, the Vietnam era K model. I think that'd be a cool addition to my Vietnam aircraft. I have enough World War II. I still want a model of an A-26. I've always wanted a model of the A-26. It's been on my want list since I was a kid. I just never really, I never got one when I was younger, and then I switched from 148th to 172nd scale when I was in high school for cost and space reasons. And I just never really got around to buying one in 172nd as well. And then I'm back into 148th now as an adult. And I still don't have one. How many years later? You know, 20-some years later, I still don't have the plane I want. So I'm going to buy one of those ICM ones, probably the K model. I just like the look of it with the tip tanks and all the bombs on the wings and the, you know, the Vietnam era camo. So looking to get one of those when it releases, as well as Modelsvit. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's I want to say it's not Russian. Bulgarian, maybe? Eastern European, anyways, model kit company. And they're releasing a 148 scale P51H. And I have pretty much every version of the P51. I mean, I've got I've got an A model, I've got a B model, I've got a C model, I've got a D, I've got the A36, I've got the 3 of those F82s in the closet, as well as a bunch of other P51Ds I'll be doing up in the Canadian marking. So I have a ton of versions of the P51, and I think just an H version would just round it out quite nicely to put one of those out. So we'll see if that ever pans out. There's also talk of them releasing an F82, but because I already have 3 kits, I'm probably not going to invest the money in one of those. But so those 2 kits, hopefully, if they release and the price is right, you'll see soon on the desk. 148th P51H and a 148th B26/A26. So time will tell if I get those. But there we go. We'll call this the end. Stay tuned for some more content, hopefully coming up on the channel soon. And we'll see you guys next month for another one of these on the desk updates. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned.
Thank you for watching, guys, and as always, if you are interested in any of the content you see, you can access my website at www.seans-aviation.com. You can see all the latest pictures of aircraft and museums and the build logs of all of my current models and past models on that site. And if you're interested in any of this content, please click the subscribe button here on YouTube to follow more. Thank you very much, and see you guys next time.